Understanding how specialists work in Battlefield 2042 is absolutely key to making the most of your time in game. They offer a wide range of perks and gadgets that allow you to do all kinds of crazy stuff, and today I'm going to give you a brief overview of what specialists are and how each one works. I'll put timestamps down in the description below so you can skip straight to the part of the video you want to see by clicking on the chapters on the video timeline. Battlefield 2042 gives us 10 specialists to choose from, with 2 of those locked when you first start the game. You'll need to hit level 15 to unlock MACKAY and level 25 to unlock PAIK. If you're unfamiliar with how specialists work in general, it's important to remember that your gun loadout is controlled separately, so your choice of specialist doesn't decide your entire setup. The specialist you choose will affect how you look, as well as giving you a couple of gadgets or abilities that you can use in game. Your loadout choice is what decides your primary and secondary weapons, as well as another gadget slot and your choice of throwable. So you can pick an engineer style specialist like Irish and give him a sniper rifle, or you can choose a recon guy like CASPER and tool him up with an assault rifle and anti-tank. So first up is SUNDANCE. SUNDANCE is an assault class specialist who benefits from a grenade belt and the wingsuit. The wingsuit replaces your standard parachute and allows you to fly across absolutely insane distances and then plow headfirst into the dirt at supersonic speeds without taking a sliver of damage. This makes her incredibly good at getting around the battlefield quickly, and also makes her great at pulling off some crazy only in Battlefield plays. Her gadget is the grenade belt, which has 3 different types of grenade that you can select between: a scatter grenade for anti-personnel, an anti-armor grenade that locks onto enemy vehicles, and an EMP grenade that can disable electronics. These nades are on a cooldown, so you can keep using them pretty frequently without the need for resupply from teammates. The grenades are powerful and the wingsuit is a ton of fun, so I definitely recommend trying her out. Next up is DOZER, who brings along a ballistic shield as well as a passive ability that reduces explosive damage. He's a pretty standard shield boy, and if that's your kind of thing, then you know who to use. The shield can take a real pounding if you like walking around with it in front of you, and if you manage to get right up to someone, then you can smash them in the face with it, as you can predict. His passive ability can be useful, especially against splash damage from vehicles, but generally I haven't found him that interesting to play with. Third comes Mack. He's unlocked when you hit level 15 and has a grappling hook he can use, as well as a passive ability that makes him faster when aiming and on zip lines. The passive ability is a nice little buff to his movement, but it's the grappling hook that is really a lot of fun. It gives you a great tactical edge to be able to take shortcuts around the map in order to flank enemies, and it's also great for trying to dig enemies off of elevated positions. He's definitely a fun character to play as, maybe not super powerful in his abilities, but if you combine him with a solid loadout choice and gadget, then you can make a pretty big impact on the battle. Irish is the first of the engineer classes and has 2 different defense gadgets that he can use: a deployable cover and a shoot down sentinel, which is basically an anti-grenade, anti-missile system. He also gains extra armor as a passive ability, allowing you to take more damage before you drop. The deployable cover can be really useful for fortifying a position, especially when playing with a squad or when playing on breakthrough, where you have intense battles in small areas and every bit of cover counts. The armor makes him tanky and the shield is pretty decent, so he's definitely a good option to check out. The second of the engineer classes is Boris, who gets a sentry gun and also gives a passive buff to other sentry guns when he's nearby. He's certainly one of the classes I found the least useful so far. The sentry guns are pretty ineffective at actually killing anybody, and generally serve more as a distraction to slow down the enemy advance. The main thing I found sentry guns actually useful for is when they lock onto someone, they make a little noise which helps alert you, and they also tag up enemies. This will allow you to see them even when they are behind cover. The spotting makes the class a bit stronger, but given how good the spotting is from the CASPER drone or the proc sensor, for example, I'm not sure it really makes it worth using. CASPER is the first first of 3 recon classes and has been one of my favorites to use so far. He gets the use of a recon drone that he can fly around and spot out enemies with, as well as a movement sensor which is always active and will alert you to nearby enemies. The drone is an incredibly easy way to get tons of assists and XP while also helping out your team. You can find a nice spot to hide near the front line, fly it up to 250 meters or so away from you, and happily fly around in safety, spotting out dozens and dozens of enemies. You'll get XP for every spot, and anyone that gets killed while spotted will also give you an assist. Try it out on Breakthrough, where you tend to get everyone on the map fighting in a small area, and the scores can get pretty silly. I've had 100 assists or more loads of times already this week playing on Breakthrough, and as well as it being good for XP, it's also been pretty epic getting to watch these huge battles unfold from this unique perspective. The proximity sensor will alert you to anyone getting close, so you can drop out of your drone cam and deal with the threat, and the drone will still keep spotting people for you even when you're not actively using it, albeit at a much lower effectiveness. It's also worth mentioning that you absolutely can slap a C5 on your drone and fly a little surprise over to the enemy. Rao's gadget gives him the ability to hack enemy hardware and players and can be handy, but is certainly one of the classes that I struggle to get along with. He can disable vehicles and even hack enemy players, which can mess with their HUD and sights, but in most cases it felt hard to justify standing there hacking an enemy when I could just be shooting him and dealing with the situation terminally. If you do hack an enemy and then kill them, it does reveal other nearby enemies, but like Boris, I'm not sure it really holds up alongside the usefulness of some of the other spotting mechanisms in the game. It may be it's just a class I need to learn a bit better, and I'd be interested to hear in the comments below if you've had some more luck so far with Rao. The last of the recon specialists, PAIK, is the other one that starts off locked. In order to get this, you'll need to hit level 25, and you will then get access to her EMGX scanner. This will scan the area nearby and highlight enemies for you even when they're on the other side of cover. It's a powerful tool to help keep you alive, and she also gets a passive ability that will spot out any enemy that damages her, which helps you boost your assists and your XP gain. I've not unlocked her yet, so it's the only class I've yet to try out, but she certainly looks pretty powerful from her abilities. FALCK is one of the 2 support classes available who both get some medic abilities, allowing her to revive anyone on your team and not just your squad members like the other classes. She gets the Surette pistol, which you can shoot friendly players with to heal them, and probably more usefully, you can self-heal with it. It's definitely worth noting that you can self-heal by shooting the ground or a wall and walking into it, which is much quicker than using the key it suggests. She also has the ability to revive players to full health, which comes in pretty handy and is good for extra XP. The self-heal makes her very powerful for those wanting to play hyper-aggressive, so she is a great choice if you like playing on the front line and don't want to have to sit around waiting for your health to regenerate. Last up is Angel, another support class with a mix of medic and support abilities. He can revive players more quickly than anyone else, as well as being able to revive anyone in your team like FALCK, and also will revive them with some bonus armor. As well as that, he can throw down boxes that resupply your teammates with ammo and armor, and has an alternative ability to cool down a full loadout crate, allowing you or your teammates to select a new loadout or resupply their entire kit. This combination of super medic combined with ammo and gadget resupply makes Angel incredibly versatile and definitely one of the strongest and most useful classes in the game. You can be incredibly helpful to your team, as well as giving yourself a ton of bonus XP from assists, resupplies, and revives. So that covers all of the specialists currently in the game. I hope you found the video useful, and if you did watch all the way to the end, then why not help us out by clicking the like button down below and subscribing to the channel to stay up to date with all kinds of Battlefield info. Let me know in the comments down below which class you've been enjoying the most, and if you need some tips on getting your settings sorted out on a controller, I'll put a link to my video on that up in the top corner for you. So thanks very much for watching. My name's Ben, we are the Beard Guys, and I'll see you next time.